Okay, so this is a recording of the creative leadership presentation I did a couple of weeks ago on the 11th of December to the Female Leadership in Sales and Business Development, a Women in Sales meetup group here in Berlin. Um, let's give this a go and see how this recording works. Hopefully you can hear my voice and see the slides, maybe even see me in the upper right-hand corner. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work, so let's give it a go. So I am talking about creative leadership, and so what do you need to do? The first things are that we did a um, um, sorry, we did a guided meditation that brought us into the room and helped us to disconnect from the things that where we came from, our jobs. The presentation was done in the evening, so we did this little 2-minute guided meditation and hopefully got people centered and grounded for the evening of presentations and talks about leadership. So based on the feedback I got afterwards, it definitely helped. People definitely appreciated it. So I'm glad for that. If you want, I'm not going to read the copy of the meditation in this presentation or in this recording, but if you would like it, feel free to reach out and I'm glad to share it. So who am I? I am Stephanie Barnes. I have a BBA in accounting and an MBA in IT. I have more than 20 years experience in various fields: finance and accounting, IT and process consulting, knowledge management, digital transformation, culture change, creativity and innovation, lots of different things. I am also an artist. I started my creativity practice in 2001 and I started painting in 2011. I am a dual Canadian UK citizen living in Berlin for just over 4 years now. And I wrote a chapter that much of this material, or at least some of this material, was published in 2018 in a book called KM Matters. And my superpower is using both sides of my brain. And my website there on the bottom is Realization of Potential. My business name that I go by is Entelechy, but an Entelechy means realization of potential, but Entelechy.com wasn't available, so I went with realizationofpotential.com. There you go. Helps everybody remember what Entelechy means, even if it's a bit long. So regardless of our position in the hierarchy, we are all creative and we are all leaders. This is the position I start from, or the belief I have that we're from where we're starting. We're all leaders. We all have that within us to learn it and to develop it and to be leaders. We all have creativity that, again, we're born with. And some of you may have watched a TED Talk by Ken Robinson, I believe. I have his name right. I should have double checked before I started recording this. But he did a video, a TED Talk a few years ago about how creativity is educated out of us. So we're all creative. I believe this for myself and for everyone else, but through the process of lots of education and schooling, we forget how to be creative. So a lot of what I talk about in my workshops and innovation work is about redeveloping and remembering how to be creative. The challenge for our organizations now is that employees want to be more engaged, they want to be more collaborative, they want to be more creative, be more innovative, be better at executing and implementing new ideas, and take more risks. They want to be successful, they want to help the organization be successful. They want this for themselves and their organizations. So the challenge is to how to help them do that. And the answer, I feel, based on my experience, and there's some studies that back me up certainly, is creative leadership. A study that was published in 2010 in Harvard Business Review showed that organizations that were led by creative leadership provided 6 times higher revenue growth. They increased employee engagement. People took more calculated risks and innovating, and they took more leadership and more initiative around communication. Creative leaders are ready to ask questions and to challenge the status quo. They're committed to ongoing experimentation with disruptive business solutions. Creative leadership is about creating an environment where everyone, not just management, because leadership and management are not the same thing, although sometimes people like to use them interchangeably. They're two completely different things. So not just management is empowered to use creative thinking skills to improve the organization. So even frontline staff, program managers, project managers, admin assistants, frontline sales staff, everyone is empowered to improve the organization. It doesn't mean that everyone's always generating ideas, but rather that everyone is empowered to ask, is there a better way of doing this? And then is personally accountable for implementing any of the solutions that may arise out of that discussion. And these improve the workplace for employees and for customers. And when your employees are happy, your customers are happy. And then ultimately your shareholders are happy. How can you bring creative leadership into your organization? You can help staff learn how to be creative leaders. Help them tap into that creativity. Help them, give them the confidence to challenge the status quo. Provide them with role models. People look to those around them to see what other people are doing and take those people as role models, and helps give them courage to try things that they might not have tried otherwise, or to challenge the status quo, or to ask questions. Provide that role model, provide that leadership, provide that guidance through your own behaviors and decisions. And now, how to be an artist at work with this idea of creative leadership. It's about enabling artistic attitude and artistic practices. So curiosity, being curious about things. Why do we do things this way? Isn't there a better way of doing things? Is there some other organization that's doing something that we maybe can learn from, either in our industry or in some other industry? Have a passion for what you're doing. Just, be tenacious and be passionate about finding a solution to the problem, and finding a better way to do things, and doing things to the best of your abilities. Be confident, be resilient. You're going to fail. Things aren't going to work out the way that you thought. My own experience with resilience is I've tried lots of things and take away the learning from what didn't work or didn't work the way I expected it to, and make adjustments and try again. So very iterative, and in some ways playful, certainly, which comes into the artistic practices side, and that performance, that trying things out and seeing what works and what doesn't work, perceiving, reflecting. All of those things are really important in trying to be more creative and implementing more creativity in the workplace. And these are things that artists do by nature, just by the nature of their practice. Speaking with my artist hat on, when I paint and when I do whatever creative activities I'm engaged in at any particular time, I'm pulling on those practices and attitudes of being curious, of looking at what's out there and seeing what's working and what's not working for other organizations. Reflecting. That time for reflection is so key, and so many of our organizations have eliminated that from our processes. in the drive to be efficient and effective, we've lost the ability to reflect and question, which is so harmful to the organization, certainly, but also to the individual. And allow people to play and try things out. Things that they're learning in one area absolutely transfers over to another area or other areas. So allow them to try and try things out. Be a catalyst. Be the person supporting your staff, whether you're in a management position or not. So supporting your staff, your colleagues, in doing these practices and walking the talk, as we used to say a long time ago. I don't know if it's still said or not, but be a catalyst, be the leader, show by example. Some of the things you might want to try as a catalyst is plan and run regular weekly creativity workshops for staff using a variety of themes, techniques, and activities. Help people learn creative problem solving methods, critical thinking, how to challenge the status quo. Coach how to apply artistic practices and principles. Those things I was just talking about, using them to solve business problems in unique and innovative ways. Coach individuals and teams to help them meet their full potential through creative leadership. Help them tap into that creativity. There's lots of activities, artistic or otherwise, that can help people tap into that creativity and have it transfer over into the workplace. Create and curate. So to create, especially if you work for a larger organization, this is something fun to do and helps people get the message, is to create and curate a display area for any artwork or photos of workshops that are run and created, so that this message gets shared, this importance of creative leadership gets shared across the organization. But most of all, coach, mentor, consult, help people in your organization to do these things, which then helps you do them too. So this has been me, Stephanie Barnes, and from Entelechy. That's my contact information, and this has just been a short recording of the presentation that I gave December 11th to the meetup group here in Berlin for sales and women in sales and business development. Thanks very much. I hope you've enjoyed this. Bye.